Hey, what's up YouTube? Graylan Stewart here again with another video. So if you're new to my channel, this is my Work Wednesday series to where I just talk about what I do during the day as a real estate entrepreneur. Obviously, if you're new, you don't know this, but I run a wholesaling company. We wholesale houses, meaning we put contracts on houses and then we sell those contracts to end buyers and we get the money in between. So we're the middleman. But so today, I'm just kind of going through and starting my day, but just kind of looking at the leads coming in. We've already got a lot of good leads in for the week. Some from radio, some from paperclips, some from Facebook, some from RVMs and cold calling. So that's already good. It's already a good start. These first few days. But anyways, so last week I talked about potentially, my bad contractor situation. So I did find out that that guy's definitely out. He's ghosted me, won't even talk to me now. So just trying to finish those two projects that were kind of at the finish line. One of which is already sold. We're just repairing the minor things that we had to do from after inspections. And then the other one is like so close to being listed. Anyways, I got two different contractors for both of those, so we can get them done quickly. And then we've got a huge renovation that we got to start. That house has been sitting, golly, for probably 2 or 3 months now. Because I was just going to give it to the guy that I had full time, but it is what it is. So I'm just going to go back to doing it the way I was, to where I hire one contractor with his crew or whatever per property so that I can get them all moving quicker. I think that's more efficient. It's hard, man. That's one thing I learned early on when I started flipping or just renovating in general. Because, every house that we buy, we renovate, whether I'm keeping it for rental or flipping it. So, but what I learned early on is don't go the cheap route, because that never pays off. Never, trust me. It just doesn't. You always end up having to redo things that the other guy didn't do correctly, or you have issues in the future because of things that you cheaped out on originally. But that's kind of why I had that guy full time. Was he was affordable, but he was pretty good at his job too. But the problem was, he's not a business person. He can't handle the stress and the deadlines and all that kind of stuff. So unfortunately, it just didn't work out. But anyways, so now I'm searching for, another full-time, not a cheap guy, but I don't want the most expensive guy, obviously. But anyways, so I'll find a guy to start that new project. In the meantime, we're finishing up on these other two. Hopefully get those done quickly. But so really today, I got to start prioritizing things a little differently, because a ton of people have been hitting me up about my course, because I said I was going to drop it at late summer, which I didn't, and technically late summer, that summer ended sometime in September. I'm not even sure when exactly, but it's just hard to prioritize everything, you know what I mean? Everything that I have going on. I really probably need like a project manager or something, because I tend to spend a lot of my time managing these renovations, and that's probably not the best time spent for me. And that's part of my problem, and I think part of a lot of entrepreneurs' problem is they just end up getting, they want to do everything themselves. I'm too much in control. I want to be in control at least, but that's the hardest part, is letting go, because I'm really good at acquisitions, but I had to let that go a long time ago because I can't do everything, and neither can you. Most people can't. Sure, it's sustainable for a little while, but to actually grow in business, it's impossible. You can't do every role in the company. You just can't do it if you want to actually grow and have some sort of life, and no stress and that kind of thing. I'm not saying there's not stress, because there's definitely still stress, because then you're managing people, but at least you have people in roles pursuing all the same goal that you're trying to do as a company. But I don't even know how I got off on that tangent. But anyways, so yes, I need to start. I'm gonna focus on getting the course done because I know a lot of people need it. And I never thought I would ever do a course or any of those kind of things. So I'm definitely still not trying to be a coach or a guru or anything like that. But I do see value in an online course, because there's good courses out there, there's bad ones out there. So my goal is to actually produce a good course, all digital, online, to where people can actually do deals from it because of it. You know what I mean? So that's my goal. It's not just to have something up there to make money, because that's not really important. I want to try to change people's lives, because wholesaling has changed my life. Sure, I was already doing really well when I had a job. I was doing really well in business on my own before I found wholesaling. But at the same time, that's why I got into wholesaling. I was burned out on doing marketing and all that stuff for mom and pop businesses. And wholesaling, it's way more money than what I was doing too. So anyways, it's changed my life. So that's my goal. That's why I do this channel. Really is to give back, because I learned through YouTube, and really it's all about like who you kind of resonate with. As far as who you're watching on YouTube, I always suggest don't watch a ton of people, because you could get mixed signals or mixed information. And that's why I kind of dedicated my channel is just telling the truth about wholesaling. There's good parts about it, there's bad parts about it, there's struggles as you go through different aspects of your business, especially when you start flipping. I'm having issues with that here and there. Even the properties that I own, I talked about that before. I've got this mobile home that was a terrible purchase, and I still own the thing that I'm paying probably close to $750 a month in holding costs on it, and I've had it almost a year now, and it's just empty. So yeah, there's struggles in this. So I'll tell you all the truth. I just want to be completely transparent in everything that I do. So I am gonna do the course. I gotta finish it. I'm definitely gonna finish it before the year's out, but my goal is to try to finish it, hopefully by end of October or early November. That's hard too. We just got a lot of things going on in business and personal life, because we're building a new house that we're supposed to be moving. We were supposed to already be in it, but it's probably November, December now, they're telling us. So in the midst of doing that stuff, a lot of business things. So we're flipping houses, wholesaling houses, buying and holding houses. We're wholetailing houses. So it's a lot of things to juggle. But that's the thing. It's like when you're juggling, you got to remember that they're not all bouncy balls. So when you're actually juggling in the air, they're not all just bouncy balls. If you drop one of them, it could be catastrophic, because most of them are glass. When you're juggling these balls, a lot of times they're glass. But it's okay to let the one fall that's rubber, because it's going to bounce back up. So that's what you got to be careful with. It's just prioritizing correctly. So had no clue I was even going to talk about any of this, but that is what it is. It's a vlog, so just kind of going through my day and my thoughts. But anyways, so that's my goal. I gotta get my course up, because I know people want it and people need it, because it will help change people's lives. I'm sure I've got tons of free content on YouTube, but for those that want to shorten the learning curve and just have a dedicated course to go through, I'm going to do that. And then we're just trying to get these projects finished up as far as the flips go. And I will tell you that I've actually we released 2 houses. So it was 2 houses that these are different time periods and different people, of course. But for whatever reason, these deals fell through, and they weren't our fault, because we were ready to perform on the properties. But for whatever reason, they fell through. The sellers went another direction. So obviously, buyers were reaching out. They're like, "Hey, we're going to buy this house. You need to release your affidavit or your memorandum, whatever you do. We do affidavits. because it clouds the title and they can't sell the property without us. And that's the purpose of having them. So it protects you and your time and energy and money that you've put into that property. So they can't ever sell it without you. And I understand that people can be jerks about that, because I've released them just to be nice and just like, hey, I'm just releasing this so you can move on. But if it was completely out of our control, we were ready to close on it, and something happened with the seller to where they didn't sell it or whatever, I feel like we should get paid for that. So we agreed to release 2 different properties this week, one of which we already had it assigned and everything. It was like a $40,000 assignment from like a year and a half ago, but there was some issues to where they ended up, not selling it, and then now they're selling it suddenly, even though we've been following up, at least once a month for the last year and a half or so. Anyway, they ended up selling to someone else, so that buyer skip traced me, looked me up, talked to him, and we agreed to release it, but he's going to pay us like $5,000, which is a small fee because he's getting the good deal. In some of these situations you can actually split, but he's not wholesaling, he's keeping it as a rental. So I'm like, well, $5,000 is fair. So he agreed to that. And then this other house, I'm releasing this other house for just $1,000 because it wasn't that big a deal. It was a small spread anyways, so I'm trying to be fair with people. But anyways, so that's a side note. That's the purpose of these affidavits or memorandums. When you file on these houses, it protects you. The seller can't sell without you. You're not trying to lock up their property, but if you have every intention of closing on the property, then I believe it's your right, because they signed a contract agreeing to sell it to you, and if they back out of that contract, then it's your right to get some sort of money out of that. That's my opinion on it. So anyways, not trying to ramble on, so there we go. We released 2 different deals this week, so we're going to get small fees from those. Still good stuff coming in. 2 acquisition managers are doing great, and we're just moving, doing deals. We close on 2 this week. One of them we close on today, actually. We'll get like $22,000 some change. It's a hotel deal, one that I actually closed on, didn't touch it, just relisted it. We'll make like 22 on it. One that we're closing on Friday, so a couple days from now, is just a straight wholesale deal, but we are double closing because it's a bigger fee. It's like, I think we're making $33,000 or something like that. Just because remember, when you're wholesaling, a lot of buyers, can't get out of their own way. So we just double close anything typically that's depending on the buyer, but usually if it's over $15,000, we're gonna double close it. There's a couple buyers that I'll do up to 20, but even them, I just double close after 20. So, and this is one of those buyers. If it was 20, I would have just wholesaled it normal, but since it's 33 or so, we're double closing on it. So anyways, yeah, we got 55 or so thousand coming in this week, which is good. It's expensive to run a business like mine because we don't just wholesale. If all we do is wholesale, then it's pretty easy. All you really have is marketing costs and commission to pay. But when you start flipping houses and buying and holding, you've got tons of renovations cost and holding cost. That's what eats up the cash. So thank goodness for wholesaling, because that actually affords me to do all these renovations out of pocket, to where I don't have to get loans on them or high interest credit cards or any of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of nice. So those will just help. This 55K part of it will help go towards this new renovation that we're starting up, because this new deal that we've had a couple months that we're going to start soon. It'll probably be about a $40,000 to $50,000 project. But we'll end up at the end of it probably making $40,000 to $50,000 after it's done. So it's completely worth it. But my point is, you just have to have cash for that. So there's definitely more stress in it when you become an actual investor, not just a wholesaler, because you're doing more than just wholesaling. But don't get me wrong. I never want to even flip a house at all. Most of the houses we end up flipping are out of necessity. We didn't sell them for whatever reason, or we ran out of time and we knew it was still a good deal, so we took it down. But I can't actually think of a house. Maybe the one that's been sitting a couple months. That's the only one I've actually bought. Nope, even that one we tried to wholesale that, and that was our first intention. But I was gonna say, I can't think of one house that I've actually bought with intentions of flipping, because it's not what we do. That's not what I want to do. It's always been my motto. I'd rather have a quick nickel than a slow dime, because wholesaling is a bunch of quick nickels. Flipping obviously is slow dimes. You get paid more, but it's way slower, takes longer, bigger paychecks. But that's why we typically end up doing a lot of both. Wholesale a lot and then still flip. We only probably close on a flip maybe one a month, maybe one or two a month, but we typically have like 5 or 6 going at one time, because they're all at different stages along the process. So that is super costly obviously when you've got 5 or 6 going at once. But anyways, enough rambling on. Thanks guys for joining me. Hopefully you got some value out of this video. I'd appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. If you hated the video, I'm okay with a thumbs down as well. Either way, subscribe if you stuck around this long, and I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video.